Regardless of what your position on this topic may be, one thing this topic is not is complicated. It may seem cloudy due to the hype and propaganda surrounding it, but the topic itself is simple. Most who join the conversation do so merely to embolden and galvanize their side and condemn or convert the other side. Propaganda relies on 1. Information control, and 2. Emotional manipulation. The goal of a propagandist is to enlist you to fight for their cause. They bolster their recruiting efforts by proposing their conclusion rather than the premise. The more knowledge one possesses, the more freedom one has to reach one's own conclusions. Conversely, the less knowledge one possesses, the more susceptible one is to manipulation. Propagandists exploit ignorance. In this case, mass ignorance exists on the logistics of abortion, what the process entails, how it is conducted. Just as propagandists exploit ignorance as it pertains to information, they exploit shame as it pertains to emotion. On this topic, the pro-life side shames the pro-choice side for disregarding the right to life, and the pro-choice side shames the pro-life side for disregarding the right to privately choose this practice. In this video, I will simply present information on what the practice is and leave you to determine your position on it. For the record, the recent Supreme Court ruling to overturn Roe v. Wade is not a judgment on the legality of the practice. It merely returns that power to the state level. From the point of conception, when an egg is fertilized, that egg is referred to as a zygote. From the 2-week point up until the 8-week point, that is referred to as an embryo. And from the 8-week point up until birth, one is referred to as a fetus and a baby upon birth. Most organs begin to form approximately 5 weeks into a pregnancy. Almost all organs are fully formed by approximately 12 weeks into a pregnancy. The brain and spinal cord continue to develop throughout the pregnancy, and also the lungs continue to mature throughout a pregnancy. So, what is abortion? Well, there are at least 3 different types. Medical abortion, which is abortion via pills. Surgical abortion, conducted during the first trimester, and also referred to as aspiration or vacuum aspiration. And 3, surgical abortion conducted after the first trimester, sometimes referred to as D&C, which stands for dilation and curettage. In the first trimester, the fetus is aged 3 months or younger. In that time, a heartbeat is detectable. In the second trimester, the fetus is aged between 3 and 6 months. At 6 months, the fetus has a chance of survival outside of the uterus. Abortion pills are usually taken within the first trimester. The process consists of taking 1 misoprostol pill to block a hormone called progesterone, which is necessary to maintain a pregnancy. Then 1 to 2 days later, taking 4 misoprostol pills, which cause the uterus to contract and empty. The result is an abortion that looks and feels like a heavy, painful period to the pregnant woman. The following is an animated depiction of a first trimester abortion. First trimester surgical abortion. The abortionist uses a speculum to gain access to the cervix, which serves as a gate protecting the uterus. Then dilators are used to gain further access to the cervix. Then the abortionist inserts a suction catheter connected to either a syringe mechanism or an electrical vacuum extractor with 10 to 20 times the force of the typical household vacuum. The following is graphic. Surgical abortions conducted after the first trimester. This process begins the same way. However, For late-term abortions, an abortionist may use sterilized seaweed to help open the cervix over the course of a day or two before proceeding with the operation. This seaweed, called laminaria, increases access by absorbing water and swelling. The laminaria is then pulled out and dilators are employed to increase access. The suction catheter is used to extract the amniotic fluid from the amniotic sac. But at this stage, the fetus is too large and strong to be squeezed into the catheter. Thus, grasping forceps are utilized to remove the fetus in parts. The following is graphic. At this stage, the skull of the fetus is the most difficult part to remove. The following is extremely graphic. Like the body, the skull too is removed in parts. Though you viewed an animated depiction of this practice, keep in mind that this is largely a blind operation for the abortionist. Thus, there is a risk that a part or parts could be left behind. To avoid this, the removed parts are collected and reassembled like a puzzle to make sure no parts are missing.